Yo, you already know what it is, man. It's your boy Domwork, man, and look. Now, I know I've been dropping a lot of guard builds for y'all, but today I got y'all with a big man. And to be honest, this is a 6'11 power forward, but y'all already know what time we on, man. It's a 6'11 shot creator, so it's really like a big guard, but then we got the post game to go with it. And of course, because we're bigger, we're going to be able to defend a little bit more, especially in the paint. But we're also going to be able to pass the rock as well.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell.
Well, I mean, at least on paper, we'll be able to pass the rock. But I'm going to get into the builder, break it all down, and of course, I'm going to give y'all all the SIGs and the jumper that I'm running on the build. So y'all can see we're going to go with the 6'11 power forward, 210 on the weight, and a 6'11 wingspan. And a couple of people on Twitter were asking me like, yo, why not just go with a 6'10? And the simple answer is, I just wanted the tallest build possible that could still get shifty shooter on it. Because I do a lot of moving shots on my 7-foot stretch, but the thing about it is, of course, 7-footers don't get the badge. But I still hit a ton of my moving shots, my step backs, pull-ups, and all that. So I was like, man, imagine if I was this tall and I had shifty shooter on the build, that'd be unstoppable and unguardable. So obviously the 6'11 is the closest I'm going to get to that, so I decided to go for it. And I literally made this build like last week, and I've been having so much fun on it, I decided I got to drop it for y'all. And it really reminds me of the build I had featured in 2K24, and I got a lot of good feedback on that build, and a lot of people seem to have enjoyed it. Now, when it comes to the finishing on this build, I had to keep in mind that I wanted to be able to play out of the post as well, not just on jiving and, jiving layups and jiving dunks. And I wanted to be a reliable finisher if, let's say, I get an offensive rebound and I want to go back up with it, or if I get a mismatch, back them down into the paint, drop step. And as a big, I just wanted to have that full post scoring bag. So I'm definitely about to start labbing some post moves, the hook shots, and try to get right. Because this build is already going to be an elite shot creator. So if I become an elite post scorer as well, that's going to be real dangerous. But as usual, man, y'all know my play style. I prefer to have a higher driving layup than driving dunk. So we're going to go with the 93 driving layup, 60 standing and driving dunk. And of course, like I said, we got to have that post control on the build as well. So this build is pretty much what you would call a finesse finisher around the rim. So we're not throwing shit down all the time, but we're still going to be super effective and super efficient. Now, y'all already know when it comes to the shooting on the build, you're probably never going to see me make a big man that can't shoot the rock. And especially for somebody who plays a lot of random rec, I'm not trying to tell anybody how to spend their money or how to make their build or how to play the game, but if you're going into random rec with a non-shooting big man, you're just making the game harder for everybody around you. I ain't gonna lie to you. You gotta be able to space the floor out and open up them driving lanes for your guards. But as y'all can see, man, we're gonna start off with the 90 midi, but then we're gonna use 4 cap breakers to push us to 94, and that's gonna get us legend post fade phenom. And I haven't had a build that got that badge on a high tier as yet, so that's another thing I wanted to experiment with. But what y'all are seeing right now, bro, this is one of my favorite parts about playing on these taller sharpshooters. They're just so disrespectful. And this is another reason why I went with the 6'11 as opposed to the 6'10. Because when you're this tall, it's not going to be easy to contest you. Guards are for sure going to have to jump to get any kind of decent contest. And when it comes to bigs trying to close out or step out onto you, you already know they don't have no perimeter defense on their build. So they contest even if they get there, it's still going to be weak. So the catch and shoot spot up game on this build is going to be lethal. You already know that. But we're also going to be able to get to it on our own off the dribble. Because like I said in the intro, this build is going to be able to get Hall of Fame shifty shooter, man. That's crazy. And if you ask me, it seems like 2K is literally allowing us to make the most overpowered archetype in all of basketball. This is literally a KD build, bro. Because I'm going to have Hall of Fame shifty, Hall of Fame deadeye, Hall of Fame set shot, legend post fade phenom. Like, bro, how can you guard this? So obviously when it comes to the shooting on this build, man, that's going to be his bread and butter. And when you're this tall, with these kind of attributes and badges, it's going to be really tough for the defense out there. Now, just like I don't make builds that can't shoot, y'all know I don't make no build that can't pass. A lot of people think like, well, look, if I'm not the point guard, I don't need to be able to pass the ball. I don't need pass accuracy on my build. And to some extent, I understand and I get that. But when you have a playmaker mentality and you see certain things on the court, I just like to know that I can confidently make any pass I see and not have to worry about it going out of bounds or making the player fumble or stumble and all that. And I just hate when my passes are slow and floaty, bro. I want them to get there and I want them to get there fast. Because the speed of that pass can make the difference between a shot being open or lightly contested. And people don't be thinking like, bro, what if you're playing a good team and they're rotating on defense and you get the ball to shift the defense, but now it's on you to make the read and dot somebody? If you have a low pass accuracy, for one, the pass is going to be super slow. So now you're hindering the offense, but on top of that, the pass is going to be so slow, it just might get picked off. So trust me when I say this, bro, I don't care what position you play. If you can't pass the ball, you're going to be a liability on the court. Now, y'all already know most of my builds are geared towards offense, scoring, and playmaking. And this build here isn't going to be much different. But as y'all can see, it's a bigger build, taller build. So by default, it's going to be a better defender. But even though we're not an elite lockdown or rim protector, we're still going to be able to hold our own out there. Now, the main thing I hated about my 7-footer was the fact that he had no perimeter defense on him. So if I was to get switched onto a guard in a pick and roll, or if I had to jump out at a shooter on the perimeter, bro, I was literally getting no contest every time. So on this build, I said, yo, look, I gotta at least get bronze challenger. And I know that might not make a big difference, but it's better than having nothing at all. And we're also gonna have bronze interceptor, so we're gonna be able to play passing lanes. Then we're gonna have bronze paint patroller and high flying denier. And I'm gonna just keep it 100 with y'all. You're not gonna get every single stop in the paint. There's gonna be times where you're gonna get scored on, then there's gonna be times where you're sending shit up out of there. But for the amount of stops that you do get, these bronze badges are well worth it. Now, I know the rebounding ain't all that, but look, it's to each his own, man. If you want to lower something and put the rebounding up, feel free to do that. But like I always say, I'm making these builds for my play style and what I'm trying to do out there on the court. And for me, I'm comfortable like this. As long as I'm in good position, I'm still getting rebounds. And most of the time, all I'm really doing is boxing out for my big man anyway. But this is what the build should look like when it's all said and done. And when you go through with it, man, you're going to get shades of Rashard Lewis, Jason Tatum, LeBron James, and the build is going to be called the Diamond 3-level scorer. And I ain't gonna lie, bro, those are some crazy build comparisons. Now here's a quick look at the build with the cap breakers on it. And y'all know season 3 just dropped and we're gonna get another cap breaker at level 40. So I don't know where I'm gonna end up putting it at, but you can keep that in mind if you do end up deciding to make this build. Cause maybe you can drop the midi down another notch and that might free up some more points for like your defense, your block, who knows. There's so many ways you can finesse the builder, knowing you're gonna have an additional 7 points with them cap breakers. But as always, man, I appreciate all the support. Let me know what y'all think about the build in the comments. And if you ain't following me on Twitter, be sure to give me a follow over there at BeLikeDom. And y'all already know what it is, man. Stay up. Catch y'all in the next one.